could see the graph, which is more detailed, and it just wasn't conducive to put it on a screen today. Or you can even say, like I'm going to do, I have a paper at the end I'm going to give you can read for homework or to take home with you, but right now to give you some highlights. So yeah, I will talk more about that. I'll show you some examples. I'm going to talk a little bit about just a quick 10-second intro that I do, but first just another quick tip, which is take notes today and feel free to write on this. If you're noticing anything about me or about just something that pops in your head about something you want to change or work on yourself, feel free to take notes throughout the workshop. I'm going to do a quick 30-second intro that I sort of made up, and then we'll jump right in with getting to know you guys a little bit more. Really, the other thing about the notes is that they help you stay engaged, especially on a long day. If you're at an 8-hour workshop, I like taking notes just to kind of follow along and stay awake, and especially something very complex and technical. It seems to help me a lot. So I'll do my little spiel, my 30-second spiel. Hello, my name is Eric, and I'll be your facilitator today. My purpose for being here is to help you with PowerPoint presentations, and specifically to walk you through some PowerPoint guidelines. I was inspired by Joe, as I mentioned also, and recently worked with a graduate student at Virginia Tech here who had similar problems. She had too much text, too many graphics all on one slide, so I worked with her getting ready for her defense, and we worked together a couple hours. Somehow, I think I helped a little bit because she actually graduated, and now she's a doctor. I can't take all the credit, but it was fun to work with someone who was just recently going through the process and really needed some assistance with getting her slides cleaned up. So again, my name's Eric. I'll be your facilitator today and help you become a perfect presenter. So I want you all to jump to page 7, and there's 3 quick questions there that you can go through just for yourself. Mainly the first one, which is the purpose for you. What's your purpose for this workshop? So again, we'll just take 2 minutes or so, and you just jot down a couple. You've already alluded to a few things you want to work on, but maybe there's something you had in mind, something else that just came up from my talk. All right, hold that thought. Won't share yet. What I'm going to do is just kind of walk you through the next 10-second intro. We're all going to do, and again, this is sort of formalized on purpose. You've heard my intro, and we've met a little bit, but I want to hear a little bit more about what you guys are all about. So what I'm going to do is talk you through this 10-second intro I've kind of structured, and it's very simple. The idea is first you'll just have 10 seconds to, well, I'll demo it. So my name's Eric. I'm from Blacksburg, and the reason I'm here today is to teach you about powerful presentations and becoming a perfect presenter, and to teach you about the slide guidelines that I found recently, and hopefully you've been learning from me on those. So it was sort of unstructured, but basically what I did was, in about 2 seconds I told you my name, and then in about 2 seconds I told you where I'm from, and then I attempted to tell you my purpose, which was, work on our PowerPoint Well, you can take liberties.
Oh,
You can take
I
liberties.
see.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I was presenting it as if I was at a conference away from Blacksburg. And, hey, I'm from Blacksburg, you know. I was actually born in Belmont, Pennsylvania, which is in the news lately, unfortunately. But yeah, near Penn State. But then I lived in California. So what I want to have each of you do is actually do the same thing. You can do it from your seats, but I'll have you stand and then just say your name, say where you're from, and then give us a brief statement of your purpose. Who wants to go first?
We'll take turns.
My name is Beth, and I'm from Blacksburg, Virginia. And the purpose of taking this workshop is because I do a lot of outreach seminars presenting to the public on complex regulatory frameworks, and I want to be a better presenter.
Complex regulatory frameworks. Right. All right, thank you.
Oh, okay. My name is Yuriko Renati. I'm from Virginia Tech, and I wanted to develop a presentation for a younger audience, undergraduates, to teach them about my research on fluids that are plastic in one regime and that flows in another.
Great. So you both have very specific purposes, which is nice. All three of us now kind of know what you're working on, at least the theme of the year. And that might change next weeks or months, but that's what. So Beth is wanting to, explain later what a complex regulation framework is. Regulatory framework. Complex regulatory framework. And you wanted Yuriko to talk about fluids to a younger audience, undergrads. What was the last part you said? Fluids and how they.
Oh, my research on fluids that are plastic in some parameters
Oh,
of
plastic.
space. I mean, it's hard to get up and say anything because people imitate me. And the imitation of Yuriko is, hey, Yuriko, what's up?
Well, that's why the video is nice. I mean, for me, I know I do a lot of ums and ahs too. And so I'm working on that with the video. I go home, I go, wait, what did I do there?
So consciously work on it.
Yeah. You can do audio. You don't have to do video. You can do audio tape too, or audio, recording of some type as well. On the telephone, various things. A lot of salespeople do that. They want to work on their grammar and their dictation. I tend to talk really quickly, so I try to remember to put pauses in. All right, that's great. Now we'll sort of get into the PowerPoint guidelines here. And this is, you sort of follow along in here, but a lot of it's going to be up on the screen. So I would sort of suggest just watching the screen, and then later on you can read through the book, and it will remind you of the point. So this is really a set of guidelines that are based on a really great article, which I'll give you a copy of at the end. And it was a person named Durso, Frank Durso, and I think I emailed you both last night. I actually talked to him on the phone recently, just yesterday, and he wrote this article with several colleagues. Basically what he did, he's a human factors guy, which basically means he makes things user-friendly. He does a lot of different research. But he took what already existed about visual displays and computers and sort of boiled it down to PowerPoint specifically. And just that's how all this came about. There's been work on visual displays for years and years, but never really much specifically on PowerPoint. So that's how it came about. So get back to our purpose overall. Our purpose today is really, my purpose is to teach you something. And of course, what am I teaching you? I'm teaching you about PowerPoint guidelines. So what I want to do is kind of remind you of what PowerPoint is as well. So what do you think PowerPoint is?
I think it's an art medium.
A medium? Art medium? Yeah, it can be. The tool, that's what I call it.
Oh.
You know, it's a tool of many tools. There are other tools we can use, such as, you know, we might use a paint application, we might use a Microsoft Word, and those are some of the, just a couple quick ones. But yes, it can definitely be used for art. I've seen all kinds of really creative things with PowerPoint, not just technical presentations, you know. Did you have a certain thing in mind when you said that? Is it art medium?
Because whenever I prepare my slides, it's like I get really excited by the colors and effects.
Oh, so it's a creative process for you.
Mm.
Is that what you mean? I mean,
Yeah, I put in, you know, movies if I can.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Especially for under a younger group, or for anybody, I guess. But
Maybe it's just for myself.
yeah, I like it. I find it fun too. Now, in the article, he talks about the uses of PowerPoint, and you can imagine there's several uses, but some of the things he really boils it down to is actually that when you're making a good slide, you want to get it down to 3 uses that he talks about. Again, it's in the article, and I think we're on page, if you want to follow along, bottom of page 9 there. It's really about making things clear,